Alright, in our previous class, we said something about organic chemistry. That organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry that studies the carbon compounds, especially the hydrocarbons, right? So, but my question is, why carbon? Out of all the elements in the periodic table, why is carbon the only element capable of forming millions of compounds? Hydrogen cannot do it. Oxygen cannot do it. Even metals cannot do it. Yet, a single carbon atom can form fuels, drugs, plastics, protein, DNA, and even the human body itself. So what makes carbon so special? The answer lies in the topic we're going to treat today, called the unique nature of carbon. Stay with us to the end of this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, so that you will see more videos from us. Let's put that down. We have the unique nature of carbon. The unique nature of carbon. Now, what are the unique properties of carbon? The first one is the valency of the carbon. Second, the ability to catenate. The third one is the polarity of the bond. And the fourth one is the type of hybridization. I repeat, the valency of carbon, the ability to catenate, the polarity of the bond, and the type of what? Hybridization. So let's list those points down. The next first one is what? The valency of the carbon. The second one is the what? Ability. The ability to catenate. The third one is the what? The polarity of the bond. The polarity of the bond. And we have the fourth one, which is the what? The type of hybridization. The type of hybridization. We're going to take a look at this one after the other. That will make you to understand why carbon was able to form millions of compounds in organic chemistry, and why organic chemistry is just all about carbon compounds. Does that make sense to you? Now let's start with valency of carbon. So we just say the tetravalency of carbon. Now, when we say valency in chemistry, it simply means the combining power of that particular element. Simply means what? The combining power of that particular element. Before we understand that, we need to remember that carbon is element number 6 in the periodic table. You have hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon. So carbon is element number what? 6 in the periodic table. And the symbol is letter what? C. So carbon is element number 6. The atomic configuration will be written as 2, 4. Does that make sense to you? So this is the electron in the first shell. This is the electrons in the what? In the last shell, also called the what? Outermost shell. So if we represent it now, we have the nucleus here. We have the first shell taking 2 electrons. We have the second shell taking 4 electrons, 2 and 4. Exactly. Now these electrons found in the outermost shell are called the valence electron. They are called the what? Valence electron. So how many valence electrons are there in carbon? 4. Does that make sense to you? So carbon has 4 valence electrons. For this reason, carbon is said to be tetravalent. Carbon is said to be what? Tetravalent. The word tetra means 4. So carbon is said to be tetravalent. Now, the next point we should also know is that since carbon has 4 valence electrons, it is said to be tetravalent, right? Carbon uses these 4 valence electrons to bond with different elements. It will form covalent bond with different elements. It will bond with hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and halogens. So carbon can use these 4 valence electrons to form covalent bond with atoms like what? Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and what? Halogens. So we have, it can form what? Covalent bond with elements like what? We have the hydrogen, the oxygen, the nitrogen, the sulfur, and what? Halogens. Now when we say halogen, what does it mean? Halogen simply means the group 7 element. When we say halogen, it means what? Group 7 element. Group 7. And what are the examples? We have elements like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and aspartame. So here we have fluorine, bromine, we also have chlorine, and so on. Exactly. So carbon can form covalent bond with all these elements. Does that make sense to you? It has 4 valence electrons. It is said to be what? Tetravalent. And it will use this 4 valence electron to form which bond? Covalent bond with atoms like what? Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and what? Halogen. Does that make sense to you? Now the next question is, why is the tetravalency of carbon so important? I want you to know this, that the tetravalency of carbon allows carbon to form stable compounds. It forms what? Stable compound. It also allows carbon to bond with many other elements. I repeat, the first one, it will help you to form stable compound. The second one, it will help you to bond with many other words, elements. Does that make sense to you? The next point you should know about the importance is that it can form long chains and complex words, structures. I have 3 points there. The first point is that you form stable compound. It will also help you to bond with other elements, and also help you to form what? Long chains and complex what? Structures. Does that make sense to you? Now, this is one of the major reasons why millions of organic compounds exist. Does that make sense to you? Now, the next point we're going to look into is what is called what? Catenation. Remember, under the unique nature, we mentioned valency, ability to catenate, the polarity of the bond, and the type of what? Hybridization. Does that make sense to you? So we are going to pick the second one called catenation. Called what? Catenation. And the question is, what is catenation? Now, when we say catenation, it simply means the ability of atoms of the same element to bond with one another, exactly, and form straight chain, branch chain, and ring what? Structures. Exactly, I repeat, that is the ability of atoms of the same element to bond with one another to form what? Straight chain, branch chain, and what? Ring structures. So we have here, the first thing I mentioned there is what is called the straight chain. The second one is what is called what? The branch chain. The third one is what is called what? The ring structures. Exactly. Now let's see how carbon is bonding with one another to form straight chain, branch chain, and ring structures. Starting with the straight chain. The straight chain. Now look at this. Let's pick this compound called butane. B-U-T-A-N-E. In organic chemistry, anytime you see the term but, it simply means that we have how many carbon atoms? 4. That means this, we're going to list something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly. So each of them will be bonded to each other in a straight form. But remember, we said that carbon is said to be what? Tetravalent. That means we need to show the tetravalency of carbon by putting how many bond? 4 bond. Does that make sense to you? So each one we have up to 4 bond. Each of them we have up to 4 bond. Each of them we have up to 4 bond. So this shows a straight chain structure. Any elements can be here. We can put hydrogen, 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 hydrogen here to fill all the bonds. Is that clear? So if you look at this, it means carbon with 3 hydrogen, carbon with 2 hydrogen, carbon with 2 hydrogen, and carbon with 3 hydrogen. So someone can put this in this way: CH3, CH2, CH2, and CH3. Does that make sense to you? So this is also the representation of butane. Is that clear? Another way someone can put it is this. How many carbons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have C4. Exactly. How many hydrogen? 3 plus 2 is what? 5. Plus 2 is what? 7. Plus 3 is what? 10. Exactly. We have C4H10. Anyhow you see it in organic chemistry, all of them are the same. But the most important I want you to know is that here, the carbon atoms are forming a straight what? Chain. It can continue this way. And that ability to, that is what is called ability to what? Catenate. The process is what is called what? Catenation. Does that make sense to you? It can form a straight chain, branch chain, or what? Ring structures. Exactly. Now let's look at the second one that says what? Branch chain. Branch chain. Now if we pick the term branch chain, we can go to this 1, 2, 3, 4 and pick one of the atoms or one of the carbon and put another carbon. For instance, we have something like this: C, C, C. We have 3 now instead of 4. We pick one of the carbon and attach it here. Or somewhere here. Let's use downstairs. Somewhere here. CH3. So what happens? So we have CH3 here, CH, and CH3 here. So there is a branch attached to one of the carbons. So this is what is called a branch chain. What is called what? A branch chain. Is that clear? Now we also have the last one there, which is the ring structures. Let's look at this. So the ring structures. Now, anytime those carbon atoms close to each other or form a circle or a circular structure, we are referring to it as a ring word structure. Look at this. The same carbon bonded to carbon, bonded to carbon, bonded to carbon, and it's closed like this. So this is a ring structure. We can have here CH2, 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 and CH2. So we just draw a structure like this. Exactly. So this is a ring structure. So what all these things shows ability to what? Catenate. Now I want you to understand something. That carbon is not the only element that can what? Catenate. I repeat, carbon is not the only element that can what? Catenate. Sulfur can also catenate. Another element that can also catenate is what? Silicon. Exactly. So sulfur and silicon can also what? Catenate. But I want you to know something. That carbon shows the greatest ability for what? Catenation. Does that make sense to you? That carbon shows the greatest ability for what? Catenation. But we have other elements that can catenate as well. We have something like sulfur and what? Silicon. And what is catenation? The ability of atoms of the same element to bond with one another in order to form straight chain, branching, or what? Ring structures. Does that make sense to you? Now, I would like you to attempt this question and drop your answer in the comment section.